welcome to Segments with Mark and Amber. Segments is a comedy and entertainment podcast where in each episode, Amber and I choose a topic and talk about it in a variety of segments. My name is Mark, and with me as always is the shy bookstore owner to my gruff handyman. It's Amber.
Hello.
Hello, Amber.
This is episode 53, and we are talking about the most wonderful time of the year, and specifically, Christmas movies.
Yes, so this episode is just a smidgen late. We're recording it the day after it's supposed to be released, and it will not be released today.
True. We just wanted it to be a little bit closer to Christmas.
Exactly. And so it's worth it because we had to do a lot of research for this episode.
We really did. We probably put more hours into this episode.
Yeah, some people think, oh, it's going to be fun. I'm just going to do a podcast, and it's just light and easy, and it's going to build a thriving, healthy marriage. But it's not. There's a lot of work that goes into this.
I do think it helped our marriage.
I think it
got lots of dates out of it.
But it was work.
Did we put more hours into this? No, we definitely put more hours into a Harry Potter book.
Well,
that's the most hours.
That's the most hours.
But this was the most hours outside of Harry Potter.
This was the most hours, and we don't read together.
No.
And so this...
True. Yeah, the most hours we spent together.
This is the most we spent together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very sweet. It's like a beautiful Christmas movie. Brought us together.
Yeah, so the format of today's show is we're going to talk about what's making us happy. We're going to do 5 mini movie reviews, and we're going to have a return of the Christmas movie synopsis quiz.
That is correct. And as always, if you want to contact us or leave feedback, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where we are constantly posting. Or you can send us an email at segmentscast@gmail.com.
We didn't post much for this last episode, which maybe is why we didn't get any corrections that we need to apologize for. And we just have a little bit of feedback.
Okay, Amber.
So our last episode, 52, was about Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. We've been going through the Harry Potter series in between other episodes. So we had one comment from friend of the show, Laura. I enjoyed the What's Making You Happy segment and the review from the previous episode. I enjoyed the fun and laughter you two have while doing the show. I listened to the whole thing but had no idea what you're talking about. That is a faithful listener right there.
That is a faithful listener. And you know what? Thank you, Laura, for your feedback.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate that you like the parts that you like.
Yeah, see, even if you don't listen to the Harry Potter books, you could listen to the first 15 minutes or so of the episode. Because we are usually talking about feedback and what's making us happy.
Yeah, and so we were listening to another podcast, and they mentioned us.
Yeah.
And Christine said that she liked 95% of what we've done.
I'd be curious, what percent of our podcast do you like?
Yeah, and so I think with the Harry Potter episodes, it's brought Laura's appreciation probably just under 95%.
Probably, but it's raised her appreciation of the episodes that are not Harry Potter.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah, that's
Makes
true.
them all the sweeter.
Exactly. Friend of the show, Nancy, said, my favorite of the series, talking about Order of the Phoenix.
Yes, that is a very good, very popular book. And then my mom had one more comment, Hanks but no thanks comment.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hanks received surprise news that he's related to Mr. Rogers.
Did you watch the video clip, Amber?
No.
It's great.
Because it was revealed to him during an interview.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, no, I believe he was on some sort of a carpet situation.
Oh, well, still being interviewed.
He was being interviewed, but he wasn't under the lights. He was.
See.
What do you think?
Was it a dark carpet?
I can't remember. They didn't really show the carpet. And so what I noticed first and foremost was he's got kind of a new look. He's got a very bearded look right now.
Very bearded.
And I think that is why. Did you see the story about the Jeopardy contestants?
Yes. That
they couldn't recognize. I think it's the beard.
Is that the picture they showed?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't follow it. I didn't follow that. I didn't have time for that.
I heard the Jeopardy. So if anybody doesn't know, there was a Jeopardy question asking who was playing Mr. Rogers, and it was one of the very low money categories. Supposed to be a very easy question: who's playing Mr. Rogers in the new movie? And none of the Jeopardy contestants buzzed in, so it became a big thing. But I did read pretty deep down in the comments that there's a rumor, or maybe it's a fact, that something went wrong on the Jeopardy side of things. Like the contestants have to wait until there's an all clear for them to buzz in, or there was a malfunction with the buzzing system. Some kind of a light didn't happen. So probably they could have answered it. Because those people are pretty smart.
They are smart. And they know a vast, like they know things that really smart people know, but they also know like things that you and I know.
Yeah, and this has been all over the news. So I don't think it's realistic that they didn't know.
I like that. I like your take.
But yeah, he did find out they share the same great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa or something.
I love that.
I do too. How special.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that movie.
You kind of wonder, though, with Ancestry.com, do we all share the same great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa?
Well, Amber, our religion, our faith actually says that yes.
Adam.
Yes, we do.
They didn't go back. They didn't say if it was Adam.
Yeah, I don't know where Ancestry.com stops.
Right.
You know, like Cro-Magnon.
Yeah, maybe.
Not sure. You and your grandpa. Anyway, I was going to make a monkey joke.
Oh, dear.
Inappropriate. So Bobby Joe also sent us a story. Amber, it was a long story. And Bobby Joe, as if you're listening, if we could just talk for 1 second. I love that you sent me this article, or that you sent us this article.
She tagged us on Twitter.
I love that you tagged us and posted this. I just don't have time to read it. And I love you, but I'm reading a lot of kind of heavy theological books right now, and I didn't have time for this. What I imagine is a great
read. It was sort of like a little bit of an advertisement for us, because anybody else that was scrolling through the thousands of comments on the article could have been like, what's this? Mm-hmm. There's a podcast that might be interested in this? Mm-hmm. Maybe I should check them out.
They like Tom Hanks.
Yeah, or maybe they don't.
What if we did a spin-off Tom Hanks fan cast? I like that.
That'd be challenging for me.
We could call it Hanks, but no thanks.
Oh, that's true. I could always be the kind of no thanks person.
So, Amber, give me the synopsis.
Okay, I also did not read the whole article, but I read the beginning part multiple times. But it's basically a reporter from the New York Times trying to do a story on Tom Hanks with a new spin. He really wanted something different than just the plain old Tom Hanks is an amazing guy, and he was disappointed to not be able to achieve that. So the article was written, I should give him credit, New York Times by, Taffy Brudzer-Ackner. I really thought it was a guy. I mean, it could be a guy. Who knows the name Taffy? But anyway, they had a few heartwarming stories. He helped sell Girl Scout cookies. He helped a bride get into her wedding while he was filming Angels and Demons in Rome. He's related to Abraham Lincoln.
Wow.
Abraham Lincoln's mother's maiden name was Nancy Hanks, and it's the same Hanks.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy. So he's just a really good guy. And so this guy he said this Tom Hanks story will help you feel less bad, but I don't know what that means. Tom Hanks showed up early for the interview. He was really friendly and nice. So,
and you were telling me that the interviewer said that no Hollywood star ever shows up early to anything.
No, yeah.
And Tom said, well, I just thought that would be the polite thing to do.
I wanted to respect the process. So it says, he was trying to tell a good story about him with elements like an arc and a narrative, but instead he got saintly actor playing saintly public television children's host. Mr. Rogers is saintly.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, so he's just a great guy. He's just a good guy, and he continues to be a good guy. He's got a nice beard now, and we all love him. Or should.
And that ends our feedback section.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for sending that feedback. Amber, I'd like to start with you tonight.
Okay.
What's making you happy right now?
Man. The last time we recorded, I feel like it could have even been the evening after we recorded, we opened up Disney Plus for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So, the new app. You couldn't open it before it was released.
Like it was sitting under our Christmas tree.
Yeah, it was kind of like an early Christmas gift. Mm-hmm. There's lots of things on Disney Plus that are making me happy, but I'm just going to go with one right now, and that would be Baby Yoda. Now, that could be considered a spoiler by some. However, I'm not going to talk about how he comes into the story. I'm just going to say that in the first 3 episodes I've seen so far, there's been some Baby Yoda, and it's the cutest thing that's been on my TV maybe ever.
Yeah.
Certainly in the rememberable past. It's just amazing. The second episode, I just couldn't help. I just squealed with delight. I couldn't even sit still in my chair. I was just like, it's so cute. It's so incredibly cute.
We have 3 children, which Amber claims to love and cherish. And I've never heard happiness or excitement about anything come out of Amber like I did while we were watching The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And the quote-unquote Baby Yoda.
Yeah, I neglected to mention he's on the show The Mandalorian, which is a Star Wars show. We'll talk about that more in the future. But he's delightful. So you really need to check that out. I'm sure if you're on the internet in some way, you've seen some memes of Baby Yoda, much cuter than the original Yoda.
Oh, yes. I thought that maybe it was just an Amber thing, because I thought, I mean, obviously it's cute and it's fine, but it's a real thing.
It's sweeping the world.
It's sweeping the world. Yeah. Everybody loves Baby Yoda. And obviously, we know it's not Baby Yoda, because Yoda is dead at this point.
Yeah, it's true. It takes place after the death of the Yoda that we know, but it is a Yoda-like creature. Yeah,
we don't know the name of the species, so we just have to default to the generic Yoda.
Yeah, apparently in an episode we haven't seen yet that just came out, he looks like he drinks some kind of soup or coffee. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited about that.
That he did eat a frog in the last episode, so that was kind of cute. So. Yes.
Definitely encourage everyone to check that out, even if you're not a Star Wars fan. Observe the cutest thing on TV.
On TV, maybe on the face of the planet. Sorry, kids. Okay.
Mark, what's making you happy right now?
Well, Amber, what's making me happy is also something on Disney Plus, and it's something that took me by surprise.
Yeah.
We were scrolling through, seeing what is on this new thing that we're paying $6.99 a month for.
Right.
And there is a show called Encore.
Yeah.
And it says it's by, what's her name?
Kristen Bell. And that definitely got my interest. Like, great, a new Kristen Bell show.
Kristen Bell show. Kristen Bell is like in it 15 seconds per episode.
Yeah.
Is like in like a pre-recorded.
First episode she actually showed up at the end, but mostly she's just in a pre-recorded thing at the beginning.
Exactly. And so what Encore is, the premise of the show is that they find a group of high school actors that put on a musical in high school, and they bring them back together, and in 5 days, they put the show back on.
Yeah, it had to be either the 80s, 90s, or the 2000s, so it's got to be almost probably 10 years old at the minimum, 10 years ago that they were in high school.
And the last couple have been kind of from me and Amber's high school time in the 90s.
Yeah, definitely.
And so that was fun, and it's just great.
Yeah, it's really well edited and well written. Mm-hmm.
And I've watched 4 episodes, and I have teared up in all 4 episodes. There's something about, I love musicals, and musicals are emotional to me for some weird reason. I love people that are happy. I love people that are doing things that make them happy and that make them excited. And I love seeing these people in high school. We have these beautiful, often exciting pictures of what life is going to be like on the other side. We're finally done with high school. Now we're going to move on to real life. We're going to do this big thing. And most of these people, they're doing fine, but most of them they're, a housewife, or he works at some business in town. Like, they're not like superstars by any stretch of the imagination. They're just regular people doing regular stuff.
Gained a little weight, lost a little hair.
They're doing their thing, and they've got families, and they're brought back, and it's just rekindling this thing that happens on stage. There's a camaraderie, an emotional connection that happens when you are acting and when you're putting on production, when you're spending that kind of time together. These connections that are made that are just different than what you have at a regular JOB or in other parts of life. And you're young and you're full of excitement. And so seeing them come from their kind of normal lives back to this kind of fun, exciting thing, and they have a professional Broadway director and a musical director and choreographer. Yeah. They bring in professional actors to do all the background parts, which is phenomenal. And they have these great story arcs. And it's just great. It's just great stuff.
Yeah, I think it impacts you on a different level because you were in a musical all 4 years of high school, whereas that was not my thing at all. But I still really enjoyed it. I think that I've almost teared up a little bit, but I think it impacts you in a different way because you experienced maybe what they've experienced, and it definitely makes you think, like, what if you're in high school and got selected to be on the show?
Every time. And so I don't remember the exact order, but I'm pretty sure freshman year we did 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Then I'm going to say Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreams go. Then The Music Man, and then Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
So I know those musicals very, very well, and I would love to do them. I'm just hoping second best to my high school group getting called to put that show on again, which would be great. Second best would be seeing them do one of those shows.
Oh, they'll have to do at least one.
Here's the thing, those are huge shows.
Yeah.
Huge shows. And so needless to say, I've been listening to a lot of Andrew Lloyd Webber on Amazon Music, and it's been just super fun. Amber does not like it.
No, it's real intense for me.
Yeah.
It just feels like something's about to happen really intensely. It doesn't feel relaxing at all. It's tough.
You have to let yourself into it. So. All right, awesome. Well, that was some good making us happiness.
It sure is.
Segment 1, 5 mini Christmas movie reviews.
Yeah, so before we get going,
Yeah.
we will let you know which titles they are, in case you are worried about spoilers. But I wanted to start with an article I found on americamagazine.org called Yes, Hallmark Movies Are Cheesy. Here's Why We Still Love Them. It was written by Colleen Duell, published in December of 2018. So she starts her article. A pretty young career woman with a big city media job reluctantly finds herself in a quaint, snowy village for Christmas. There she meets a rugged family man. The woman falls in love with the rugged family man, and he shows her the true meaning of both family and Christmas. After some will they or won't they tension, the two almost kiss, but are humorously interrupted. A miscommunication between the two arises, but is quickly resolved, and a career woman decides to pass up the lucrative new opportunity awaiting her in the big city in order to spend her traditional small-town Christmas with the rugged family man and, presumably, his family, all in the course of 90 minutes. It says, repeat ad infinitum. Infinitum. Repeat ad infinitum every 2 hours. From the last weekend in October through New Year's Day, and you have Countdown to Christmas, a nonstop stream of just add water or fake snow, as the case may be, Christmas movies produced by and broadcast on the Hallmark Channel. So we are only going to discuss one Hallmark movie, but in general, why are these movies becoming so popular? We found similar movies on Netflix and, not Hulu, but Disney Plus and in the actual theater. So why do people like these movies so much? It says in 2018, Hallmark had 22 new movies. This year, I believe they have 40. The target audience is women ages 25 to 54. So this article says the films are an escape. For example, there are no political tensions or even signs of socioeconomic differences in Hallmark movies. That is nice. Escape from the big city, whether temporary or more permanent, speaks to the desire of many overworked Americans having to unplug and unwind from jobs that require them to be available 24 hours a day. They give a temporary sense of family to Americans who are starting families later and later, or whose family members live far away. And the small-town communities portrayed in Hallmark movies, in which neighbors know one another, offer some respite from our increasing sense of isolation, which is even greater in densely populated areas.
Now, that last paragraph is very, very interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
This idea of escaping from overwork, trying to unplug, trying to unwind, the busyness of the big cities. Obviously, we don't live in a big city, but many of
we also don't live in Christmastown, Vermont.
True, that's true. Yeah, and so my sense of listening to other people talk about the big city, and maybe urban Kalamazoo also would count.
We don't have like a tree lighting ceremony where everybody's going to be at.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
But we do have a very hectic, busy pace of life.
Exactly.
And so I think that it's really, really interesting that the whole country, I can't say about the whole world, but the whole country is plagued with this idea of busyness and hecticness.
Yeah, definitely.
And just looking for some bit of respite in the storm. I think these are a great respite.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Also, that the target audience is women. I can see that, but I've enjoyed watching these movies.
Yeah,
with you.
Absolutely. I've had a lot of people that watch them together as couples.
Yeah, and so it's been fun.
People go home and their mom and dad are always watching a Hallmark movie, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that there is maybe even better ways. And I think there is an idea of like going, oh, maybe we should actually reconfigure how we do life in the midst of this world, not just look for little forms. But that's not what we're here for tonight.
Sermon with Pastor Mark.
Yes, I would love to talk more about that, Amber. If you give me the thumbs up, we'll jump back into that.
Work that into your emotional health sermons in January.
I love that.
So we are going to just do really quick mini reviews. And because the joy of the Christmas movie is not necessarily the thrilling plot twists,
correct,
I would assume that most of you could go ahead and listen to us and then watch the movies if you wanted to. But if you are a real stickler for spoilers, you might want to stop this, go watch all 5 movies, and then come back. So the titles we're going to talk about are Noel on Disney+, The Night Before Christmas on Netflix, Puka on Hulu, Last Christmas, which is in theaters, and Merry and Bright from the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, I really enjoyed most of these. Most of these. Maybe 3 of 5 of these. I really enjoyed.
Our goal was to get kind of like what's the new movie on each of the streaming networks or the popular channels and things. We didn't find one on Amazon Prime. Netflix always comes out with 1 or 2, so... but let's start with Disney+. That was one of the first...
this was the first one we watched. It was called Noel. Here's a synopsis. The film opens on Christmas Eve. Kris Kringle, or Santa Claus, enters a house to deliver presents. He's found by a little girl.
This is like
Noel.
a 4-page synopsis.
Oh, it is.
This is not a quick synopsis.
This is a huge synopsis.
We could synopsis. Noel is Santa Claus's daughter. And Santa Claus dies 5 months before Christmas.
Dies, and so that
happens all at the beginning of the movie.
And they're in a big hurry to find the next Santa Claus, which is the heir, which would be Nick Kringle.
Yeah, the son,
played by Bill Hader. And so the cast of this show made me think, I bet this is going to be good.
Yeah, our main girl, Noelle, that's Anna Kendrick. We've got Shirley MacLaine is in there playing a nanny named Elf Polly. Bill Hader is the son. We've got Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner. Yeah, which seems great. And then you have Michael Gross, who plays Elder Elf Abe, who's from...
The Facts of Life. The dad from The Facts of Life.
Oh, it's the dad from The Facts of Life. I thought it was the dad from the Michael P. Keaton show.
No, you're right. It is. I just had the wrong name.
Yeah, what is that show?
Family Ties.
Family Ties. There it is.
That's what I was picturing when I said The Facts of Life. Yes.
And
both shows I was
watching.
How
do you know Anna Kendrick?
Well, a lot of people know her from the Pitch Perfect movies. We know her from Twilight.
Gotcha.
She was one of Bella's friends from high school.
Gotcha. She was not the youngest of the vampires.
No, she was not a vampire. She was just a human.
Okay. She went to town with...
to look at prom dresses.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. So this movie was cheesy.
And we were ready for that.
We were ready for that, but it didn't have the romance.
It didn't have the romance and the plot. It just, you expect the plot to be kind of predictable and not that exciting, but I think it was hard. They had the CGI little reindeer at the very beginning, which seemed so poorly done, considering this was a Disney Plus original movie. Like, why does that look so bad? And it just, there's just some parts that it just didn't really make sense all the way. I don't know. I think plot-wise, this might have been the worst.
Yeah, and so Nick, Bill Hader, doesn't want to be Santa.
True.
And he's not good at it.
Right.
And so he goes to Arizona after his sister, what's her name? Anna Kendrick. Noelle, obviously. Says, maybe it's time to get away for the weekend and then, kind of reset yourself. But he goes to Arizona and he just stays there.
Doesn't want to come back.
And so she and her nanny go chasing him down, and he is
no one's ever left the North Pole except for Santa. That was kind of interesting.
Oh, right.
So nobody knew what the outside world was like. So, of course, they tried to do like an elf scenario, when Will Ferrell's walking through New York City for the first time and he's picking gum off the thing and eating it and stuff like that was great. That's perfect comedy. They tried to do that here and it just fell real flat.
Yeah, it's hard to do the elf thing after Elf has happened.
Yeah.
So, and were there good parts? I don't remember.
There were some good parts. You expected her to just constantly be saying, let me be Santa, but that didn't really happen.
Yeah, she respected the tradition.
She did, I suppose. She was real respectful of the tradition.
But eventually they learned that in the Santa rules, it doesn't say that women can't be Santa.
True.
And so Noelle gets to be Santa, and everybody's happy. And I'm not sure she falls in love with anybody.
No, I think there's no love in this one. Maybe
there's no love at all. No love lost.
No love in Noelle.
Yeah.
Well, no, she had that guy, but I don't know. Anyway, the single father.
Yeah. So Amber.
This one got 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb with 3,569 reviews. So that seems like a decent review.
So let's give it our own review, Amber. Okay. In stars. Oh, let's do Christmas trees.
Okay.
1 to 5 Christmas trees. What do you give Noelle?
I'm going to give it 2. I really didn't like it. Whoa. I think it's my least favorite out of the 5.
It was my least favorite out of the 5. I was going to give it 2.5 Christmas trees.
Okay.
Interestingly enough. Because I found Eichner and Bill Hader to be funny.
I do really like both of them. I think we needed more of them doing their thing.
Yeah. And I liked kind of the you skate everywhere in the North Pole. That was kind of cute.
Yeah,
so
that was cute. Right.
So there you go. That bumped it up.
Okay.
Another half a Christmas tree.
Okay. The second movie we watched was the new Netflix movie called The Night Before Christmas, but is night spelled the way you would think?
No, it's Knight.
Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T. What? Just came out this year, starring Vanessa Hudgens, big High School Musical star. She's done a lot of other things. A guy named Josh Whitehouse. I never heard of him. He did play a part on Poldark. Hugh Armitage. I know some of our listeners watch Poldark. And then a lady, Emmanuel Shriqui, which we recognized her from that TV show The Passage. She played one of the doctors on that show about zombies that we liked that got canceled, but I don't know her from anything else. So really, Vanessa Hudgens is the only big name.
And so what I liked about this movie is that it felt like a Hallmark Christmas movie.
It did.
It had all the pieces in place. There was the nice, the out of time twist, as opposed to the out of place twist. So you're also out of place.
Yeah, there's a twist, but it's comforting somehow.
Yeah, and so I really liked it. And so this movie follows a knight by the name of Cole, Sir Cole from something or other, and him and a bunch of his knight friends are going hawking, which I apparently have no idea what that means.
Yeah, they let a hawk go, and then they were on their horses in their armor, and I guess they were going to chase the hawk.
Yeah, but Cole and his friend were like, well, we could split up and surround it.
Yeah, neither one of them were watching where the hawk went. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so we're not really into hawking. And so then Sir Cole, he's out, and I don't know if he's lost or he's just kind of meandering.
Yeah.
And he finds an old woman, and this old woman gives him an amulet and says that he has a quest, and if he doesn't fulfill it by Christmas night, then he'll fail his quest to become a true knight.
Yes. And he calls her Old Crone.
Old Crone! Like multiple times.
Multiple times. That is her name.
And then even in the subtitles.
Yes, in the subtitles it calls her Old Crone.
Old Crone says this. Oh, and so she transports him, Old Crone, transports him into the present.
Yeah.
Into some town, who knows? Christmas town.
Yeah.
And he is dazzled by the lights and the music. I love
right into a small town Christmas fest.
Yes. As a Hallmark Christmas movie, and obviously when I say Hallmark Christmas movie, I don't necessarily mean it's like a capital H Hallmark.
It's just
the adjective Hallmark.
I think it works.
And so he turns up. Oh, what was I saying? Dang it.
He goes into the town. Are you going to talk about how he sees Old Crone again?
I don't know. Dang it, I had a great thing to say. Here you go.
Well, he quickly meets Brooke, who is Vanessa Hudgens, and she gets in a strange Hallmarky string of events. He ends up living in her guest house, which is beautiful.
Yes.
Nicer than any house we've ever lived in. And he kind of starts to adapt to modern life. They all think he just has amnesia.
Right, because she hit him with with her car, and so they're like, well, he just has some kind of a brain injury, and so he'll probably bounce out of this.
Here, just let the strange man live in your guest house.
He's wearing armor because they thought he was one of the Christmas actors at the village.
Yeah, but the village would know whether or not they had a Christmas actor in full armor.
Yeah.
And he really doesn't know anything about modern day, so he figures out Alexa and Netflix and pizza and all those things that you need to know in modern times. He tries to figure out what his quest is because he needs to complete this quest. And so he tries some different things and doesn't know if he can do it. So,
I think that I think what I was going to say a moment ago was it just had the quintessential Hallmarkness of it. It was just this guy, and then there was he meets this girl, but they're not quite into each other. Maybe they probably both find each other attractive, but it's not really about that. And they are kind of brought together. And then a string of events happens. You bake some bread and put a bean in it, and you fall in love.
Yeah.
And and I really liked. I thought that in its cheesy way that Cole did a good job, kind of experiencing modern day from a nice perspective. Yeah. Obviously, an unrealistic take on how that would actually go. And we watched that thing that said, it's like, well, he would go crazy because this is so beyond. And so
there's no way to make sense of seeing a merry-go-round and Santa Claus and electric lights and heating and air conditioning.
It's all magic and dark arts to him. And I love it. They're driving in the car and he's like, where are the minstrels who are playing this music? He's like looking in the back seat. She's like, it's the radio. So good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely had some, where the plot didn't maybe entirely make sense, but it felt like it just fit together better than Noel to me.
Yeah.
Even in its ridiculousness.
Yeah. So. And we're looking for something. In a Christmas movie, you're looking for those people to get together. And I think that's what we are. That's why we, as a people, are drawn to them, right? It's like you know that the good ending's happening. We knew what was going to happen from the very beginning. You know that Sir Cole and whatever her name is are going to end up, Brooke, are going to get together. Mm-hmm. And there's these little moments where it seems like, they're not getting along, but there's nothing surprising.
Right, that's true.
It's just, but you're still happy.
Yeah.
When she comes downstairs in her red ball gown for the Christmas Eve pageant thing thing that she puts on every year, and you're just like, they're falling in love.
Yeah,
they're happy.
That's very sweet. So IMDb gave that 5.5 out of 10 stars with 5,000 reviews. So it didn't get as high of a number as Noel.
I got less than Noel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it just came out. I guess they both just came out. So I would rate that one higher. I would give that one, I'll give it 4 Christmas trees, just out of enjoyment. I'm not a critic.
Yeah, I'm also going to give it 4 Christmas trees.
Okay.
I just enjoyed it too. And, take away my man card. I don't know. I just had a good time.
I think it's great. That's nothing reflecting your masculine.
No. My what? So I that's a recommend. We're giving the segment seal of approval on The Night Before Christmas.
Yeah. So just to make things interesting, we headed over to Hulu. We figured, hey, it's a streaming service. I bet they also have jumped on this Hallmark movie-esque bandwagon.
Right, and I looked up that article that said, what are the 10 best Christmas movies on Hulu? Yeah. And this one was on it.
This was on it. Which weirdly, when I'm looking for notes on the show here, it's not even a movie. It is episode 3 of season 1 of a show called Into the Dark.
No way.
Which is mini. They're like mini movies, but it's called a horror anthology series with each episode inspired by a holiday.
Are you kidding me?
So this was the one inspired by Christmas.
That's a true thing?
Yeah.
That you're saying to me?
I know. I didn't know that. It definitely came up as a movie when we looked at Hulu.
Wow. I'm going away right now. I don't know why.
I couldn't even find it on IMDb. I'm like, what is going on? But you have to search Into the Dark and then go into the episodes.
Okay.
So this is not something we're blanketly recommending.
We are not recommending this movie.
We are not a horror anthology people.
Nor content of this movie people.
Yeah.
And there's most of it was fine.
Yeah.
Content-wise, there's just a couple little bits that are
kind of weird.
A little bit weird.
Pretty weird. But in general, I wouldn't. It's more thriller. It's not straight up horror.
Yeah, it's definitely not horror.
It's not. Watch a lot of horror.
It's not Freddy or
Slasher,
Jason.
yeah.
It's not any of that. It's like a terrible thriller.
So I've got just a one sentence premise here, two sentences. A struggling actor takes on a seasonal holiday job as the mascot for the year's hottest new toy, Puka. However, after putting the costume on, he develops two personalities, one for himself, one for Puka, which I actually think that's not a correct synopsis because Puka himself has two personalities.
Correct. I agree. And
I don't think the person watched the movie.
the Puka doll.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a Furby, but a little bit uglier.
Like a Pikachu
mixed
Furby
with a Furby
thing. Yeah. And its thing is that you can play with it and you can talk to it, and periodically it will remember what you say and say it back. But sometimes he'll say it back as nice Puka, and sometimes he'll say it back as mean Puka.
Yeah, I feel like he came up with his own mean sayings too, but maybe not.
Maybe that's true.
But that's the whole thing, is you didn't know if he was going to be naughty or nice. You didn't know if he was going to be mean or nice. The toy.
Yeah, and so there's this very strange audition scene.
Yeah, he thought he was auditioning for Shakespeare or something.
Yeah, and like this weird guy like standing on a balcony overlooking him, and for some reason hires him, and the guy takes him down. He's like, "This is the suit you're gonna wear." He's like, "No, this is not what I signed up for." And he's like, "We'll pay you a lot of money."
Yeah, apparently it was a lot of money. So he was going to be the only guy in a Puka suit. There wasn't them all over the world. There's just one location. If you wanted a Puka, you had to go to like this Puka pop-up shop and get your doll. And there's only a certain amount each day. And everybody wanted their picture with them. It was kind of a big deal. But the suit itself seemed to make him crazy. He would do things in the suit that he wouldn't remember that he did. And his own personality inside and outside of the suit changed. He needed to get in when he'd been away from the suit too long, he needed to get in it. People died.
Yeah.
There's some intense. There's like a flash forward, flash back kind of aspect to it that's a little bit creepy, and the whole thing's pretty creepy. A couple of scenes that are real not great.
Yeah, and there's a kind of a weird twist ending that kind of pulls it together, but not quite.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else to say about Puka.
It stands out in this mix of movies that we watch.
This is not. There's nothing Hallmarky about this. No,
it really makes Hulu seem like the dark child of the streaming services.
Yeah,
it does not have any good holiday movies original to it. You can watch other holiday movies on it.
You could watch other ones.
Yeah, they're not putting out original fluffy content.
And so if you are looking for somebody to, something that's going to make you feel good by the end of it, don't watch Puka.
So how many Christmas trees would you give it?
I'm going to give Puka 1 Christmas tree.
All right, I'm going to give it 2, tied with Noel. I think it did what it was trying to do.
I guess you're
There's some artsiness to it.
You're right.
It's just, it's not our usual fare.
It's not our fare. And maybe my rating is a little bit low because it is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's bad.
Yeah.
But they're all bad. So anyway, I'm sticking with it. I'll stick with my 1 and just go, you know what? It was, the acting wasn't that great.
I guess not.
So.
All right. A little bit better. Much better, actually. Our number 4 Christmas movie is Last Christmas, which is in the theaters. It was in the theaters just last week. I think it's phasing out. It came out around Halloween. It stars Emilia Clarke, who you might know from the Star Wars movies Solo and from Game of Thrones. It also has Emma Thompson, who's been in a million things, Sense and Sensibility, Love Actually. She plays Professor Trelawney in Harry Potter.
Oh, that's right.
And then Henry Golding. She's Emma Thompson is Emilia Clarke's mom in the movie, and then Henry Golding is kind of the main male character. He's from Crazy Rich Asians and A Simple Favor. So it's kind of some big names in this one. And
basically, how do I say this? I love this movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I knew exactly what we were getting into, right? It's not going to win any Academy Awards. It's not the next blockbuster. It's not Star Wars, whatever. But it is what it is. So, and I thought it was great. And I thought that Emilia Clarke was great.
Yeah.
I've seen her as Kira. And so this is the only other thing I've seen her in. I thought she did a great job. She's kind of quirky and fun, and I loved the arc of her character. She started out as very selfish and indulgent, which kind of gets explained in the movie, but she grows and she matures and she recognizes that she can value herself and find more fulfillment in life than just kind of sleeping around or whatever. And I thought
it has a nice little arc to it.
And she serves other, she ends up helping other people. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, she also has a Christmas thing that she throws every year. At least 3 of our movies, the main star, or not that she throws it ends with a Christmas thing that they put on.
Yes, a Christmas talent show at the homeless shelter.
Yeah, I mean, how much more Christmassy movie can you get? So in this movie, she was Yugoslavian. I looked it up, and she's actually British. So is Emma Thompson, I believe, but she was very convincing as Yugoslavian. So she works at a Christmas shop that's Christmas all year round, I think, kind of like Bronner's or something. And the lady that she works for named herself Santa, but she's really just a businesswoman.
Yeah, that moved there, but she has a lot of connections overseas, and so she gets these great deals on these crazy
kind of quirky Christmas stuff.
Yeah, and so it's a fun shop, and she gets into some trouble, and she meets this boy who doesn't have a phone.
Tom.
Tom. And so here's another, you read that synopsis earlier, and this movie had at least a thread of like, hey, I got an idea. Put your phone down and enjoy the world that is actually happening. Be present in the world.
Look up. His thing. Look up.
And they found all sorts of things that you would have missed if you're just staring at your phone.
And it's frustrating. She can never get a hold of him, and she can never find him, and he disappears for days at a time, and his name's Tom. There's a through run of is it George Michael songs? She's a big George Michael George Michael fan.
Is it George Michael? Yeah, Wham, the Wham guy, whatever his name is. Yeah, I think it's George Michael.
So, including the title song, Last Christmas.
Yes. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was really fun.
I didn't guess exactly where it was going.
That's true. There was a slight twist at the end.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we save that for viewers, but I think that we would both recommend that one. It's, it is what it is. It's like you said, not an Oscar winner, but it's a Christmas movie, and it leaves you feeling good.
Yeah, I kind of teared up at the end. It was kind of a sweet ending.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm an emotional guy. I don't know.
I love it.
Okay.
You still got your bad boy.
I'm a bad boy. I'm emotional and bad boy.
You're like Puka.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're not like Puka.
Oh, more than I care to admit. Oh, man. So how many Christmas trees are you giving Last Christmas?
I'll just give it 5. I mean, it's not the perfect movie, but for what we're doing, I enjoyed it the most.
I'm going to give it 4.5 Christmas trees.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe my favorite. We'll have to see. We got one more to talk about, right?
Yep. So our last movie in the mini movie reviews is a classic, an actual Hallmark movie, but we looked at one that was just coming out in 2019. There's 40 of them to choose from. We watched one called Merry and Bright. And it starred Jodie Sweetin, who is Stephanie from Full House.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody named Andrew Walker, who had literally been in nothing that I'd ever heard of. And then her mom is played by Sharon Lawrence, who I knew from Rizzoli and Isles, and she's been on NYPD Blue. So.
Yeah, and so this one, again, very Hallmarky, very classic. I really enjoyed it. I was engaged through the whole show, waiting to kind of see how it all came together, and it's your kind of classic story. So she works in a candy cane company.
Yeah, she's the reluctant CEO.
That's right. Her grandma passed away, and they wanted to keep it in the family, and so she moved back from California and gave up her highfalutin marketing job to run this candy cane business. But it's not. The candy cane business is struggling a little bit, and so a mysterious person.
Gabe.
I was going to say a mysterious person called the Empire company to get some counseling. Corporate recovery. And so Empire sends out Gabe, but it's never made clear, though multiple times it's stated that nobody wants Gabe there.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Empire involved.
Yeah.
But somehow Empire is involved, and it's just like, well, we're stuck together now.
Yeah. Empire's job is to take kind of failing businesses and help them not fail. And so he gets assigned to this job. He doesn't want it because they're a high-powered, big deal, expensive company. Why would he stoop to the level of helping this little tiny candy cane company?
He just made a huge deal with Raymond Rathburn or something.
And so he gets there, and she's the CEO, and she barely even knows he's coming. She definitely doesn't want him there. So then you think, well, maybe her mom's behind it, but her mom has nothing to do with the company. Her dad, you find out, lives overseas. He has nothing to do with the company. Grandma's dead.
Yeah, it's just...
Who hired this corporate recovery person?
Ghost of Christmas
Nobody
Past,
wants
I
there.
imagine.
That apparently is very expensive.
Yeah, and I don't know, are they doing it as like kind of we're going to do some charity stuff now?
No, it didn't feel like it, but maybe.
Yeah. And so we don't know why he's there, and there's a fantastic scene at the very beginning where, so her mom sets her up, she shows her on a bad date or whatever, and her mom keeps trying to set her up. She's setting her up with this guy named Gary, and like there's this misunderstanding, and she thinks he's Gary, and and it was just, I just thought it was really well done.
Well done. You're right.
I thought that was really well done, and it kind of set up their kind of strained relationship that kind of works out as the movie progresses.
Absolutely. So, yeah, there's a lot of back and forth of can you have a business that just sells candy canes that could make it all year long?
No.
But could you add something to it? But if you did, would it still be a candy cane factory? There's a lot of up and down with that.
Yeah, there's this challenging sequence of events where it seems like she wants to expand her what they offer.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, your grandma, who owned this company, who made candy canes, also made chocolates. What if you also sold grandma's chocolates? And it seems...
She seems okay with it. She makes the chocolates.
She makes the chocolates.
They do the pitch.
And it makes sense. It's grandma. So there's this obvious connection. And then this high-powered Raymond Rathburn comes back and is like, we will help. We want to support your company. You'll now be the Merry and Bright Chocolate Company.
And only sell candy canes at Christmas.
And she kind of flips out a little bit.
Oh, she does. She doesn't take the deal.
And she's like, no, how can you push this on me? You don't know me at all. And I'm just like, wait a second.
Grandma would have wanted. Yeah.
It's like, I'm not sure what's happening right here. And so that was a little bit challenging, but we got through that.
Yeah.
So
it was very Hallmark. So if you're watching all your Hallmark movies, I recommend you watch that one and let us know what you think.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. There's obviously some issues. So how many Christmas trees would you give that little movie?
I'm going to give that one 4.
And you gave Last Christmas 5?
Yeah.
Okay. What did I give Last Christmas? 4.5. I'm going to give this, I thought it was better than the Night one, which I gave 3.5, I think. I'm going to give, or 2.5. It's hard to keep track, listeners. But I'm going to give this one 4 as well, assuming that I gave that other one 3.5. There is some issue. Obviously there's going to be plot issues in all of them. There was with the Knights. There was this chocolate. So there's some stuff that I didn't quite understand with the chocolate company, and she ends up making just different flavored candy canes, which is the answer, which is the right answer, not Grandma's chocolates. Yeah. And I'm not exactly sure how that all happened, but they did get married at the end, and so that was nice. So
there's a couple of B story plot lines that they have nothing to do with the rest of the movie, but they're cute. That one got 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, which is very high, but it's only 521 reviews. So you have to assume that people only went to review it because they liked it.
Yes, I liked it. So that's a recommend. That gets the segment seal of approval.
Yeah.
The segment's Christmas seal of approval.
Christmas.
Segment 2. Christmas movie synopsis quiz. So, Amber, you may remember in years past where we did a fun Amish Christmas, and I would read you a synopsis, and you had to decide whether it was an actual Amish novel, Christmas novel, or one that I made up. And it was real fun. We had a great time with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're doing something similar here. I've got 8 entries. Some of them are Hallmark movies, and I'm using that as the adjective. Okay. It's not capital H. It's just they're like that. Maybe from Hulu. And so a little bit, different. Anyway.
Okay.
And some are ones that I made up. So there's 8.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to tell you how many I made up.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you how many are the other ones.
Okay.
And you just have to guess. And if you win, you will get an extra present under the tree.
Oh my goodness. High stakes.
High stakes. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The first one is called The Rooftop Christmas Tree. It's Christmas, and once again, Dale Landis places a tree on his roof and ends up in court. No one in the small town knows why he continues the practice, but idealistic attorney Sarah Wright is determined to give Mr. Landis his Christmas wish and keep him out of jail. Judge Connor has different ideas when he puts Sarah and an aggressive prosecutor, John Keaton, together to figure out the mystery behind the rooftop Christmas tree.
That is a crazy idea.
There's a lot going on there.
Every year he puts the tree up, and every year he might go to jail, maybe?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Well, you can't legally have a tree on a house roof.
I mean, what if you did? This feels just too bizarre to have just been made up out of the blue. So I'm going to say this one is real.
Amber, you are correct.
Okay.
I'll give you a Christmas star on that one. All right. Well, what about this one? This one's called A Very Cool Christmas. I don't know what's going on with my microphone here. This one's called A Very Cool Christmas.
Okay.
16-year-old Lindsay Deerfield wants absolutely zilch to do with the whole deal, especially hanging out on Christmas with her family. Lindsay's just way too cool for Christmas. She'd totally prefer going skiing with her buds and chilling out with the wickedest guys in school. But as sometimes happens on Christmas Eve, Lindsay meets a whiskery old chap whose magic stirs up her spirit and transforms her life forever.
Got a lot of youthful words in that description.
Correct.
What's it called? Too Cool for Christmas?
A Very Cool Christmas. But cool. Lindsay is too cool for Christmas.
I think that you made that one up.
Amber, I'm sorry. That's a 2004 masterpiece from somewhere.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy. So, you're 1-1. So I'm very excited that you got tripped up there.
Okay, good. That's where your naughty side comes out.
Okay, so here's the third one. It's called Trapped for Christmas.
Okay.
Trapped. The USS Prancer is on maneuvers in the Pacific. But they'll be back in plenty of time for Christmas. Sally Tidings is... Sally Tidings is ready to show the predominantly male crew that she has what it takes to captain one of the U.S. military's most advanced submarines. But after an explosion in the forward torpedo tube, the Prancer is sitting precariously on the edge of an underwater canyon. Trapped in the engine room with 3 new recruits, Sally discovers that the true meaning of Christmas is love, family, and self-sacrifice.
How did she discover that? Okay.
I don't know. It's just a synopsis.
She's got to sacrifice herself probably behind one of those doors that screws shut. That's what happens on a submarine. Is it a submarine? That's a USS Prancer. Okay.
Yes, that is a submarine.
Her name is Sally Tidings. Mm-hmm. Was there anybody else's name in there?
No, there's not. Not given. I assume the recruits have names. But...
Yeah, would she find love with a new recruit? Could it be a movie if she would find love? It seems real.
She finds out that the true meaning of Christmas is love, family, and self-sacrifice. So
but
apparently she does find some sort of love.
It seems so action-y and military. What was it called?
Trapped for Christmas.
Trapped for Christmas. I can't see it happening, so I'm going to say that one's fake.
Amber, you're correct. I made that one up.
I wasn't sure whether you're laughing, if you just thought it was preposterous or if you did it.
Both.
Okay.
It's both.
You did it, and it's preposterous. Gotcha.
Her name's Sally Tidings. I was like trying to think of Christmassy
Perfect.
names.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Sally Tidings of Christmas.
They do have these crazy names, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and the USS Prancer is one of the
Oh, I know.
Okay. Okay. Well, Amber, you're doing pretty good. Let's see if you keep it up.
Okay.
Christmas Cupid. Christmas Cupid. Sloan is a beautiful, stylish woman on the fast track to success in her public relations firm when a starlit client, Caitlin, dies. Caitlin immediately becomes Sloan's own personal Jacob Marley, the Christmas Carol ghost, ushering in the spirits of Christmas past, present, and future, all in the guises of Sloan's former boyfriends.
So why is it Cupid? I guess it's because it's all based on love, not just caroling. I don't think you came up with the name Sloan, so I'm going to say that one's real.
Amber, that's so good. You know me. I would
actually watch that. I would definitely watch that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, well, let's see. A Green Christmas. A Green Christmas. December Langdon is the CEO and owner of Langdon Health Foods. When December was little, her parents owned the Christmas Candy Company and always asked her to taste test new products. After a difficult time in high school, often due to a boy named Sky, December swore to rid the world of Christmas junk food, thus starting her own company, Langdon Health Foods. All is well until December is called back to Newberry and asked to be the Grand Marshal at Newberry's annual Christmas parade. When she runs into Sky, she finds out that family, love, and moderation are the true spirit of Christmas.
No way. Oh my gosh. Could this be true? Could their names be December and Sky? Trying to rid the world of junk food, but she learns that moderation is the answer. Man. Could you have made that up? Be the Grand Marshal in the parade. Oh, I'm going to say...
Newberry's annual Christmas parade.
Yeah, Newberry even. I'm going to say that one's real.
No, I'm sorry. I made that one up.
It was a toss-up.
December Langdon. She had too much junk food.
No, you made that up. I'm impressed.
Yeah. I had to look up. I had to Google what the leader of a parade is called.
Oh.
So that's why I use that fancy terminology.
Is the leader of a parade.
Google knows. Okay. When Calls the Heart Christmas.
Ooh.
When Calls the Heart Christmas. Elizabeth's fiancé, Jack, surprises her, coming home on leave and bringing a young Mountie, desperately searching for Christmas inspiration. The community of Hope Valley works together to aid this young man with the help of an enchanting wishing tree. And as Mayor Abigail is pretty busy, recognizing that her newly adopted son, Cody, engages classmates in creating the town's annual Christmas celebration, while Sheriff Bill Avery forges a relationship with a disgraced...
A lot of names.
The disgraced former mayor, Henry Gowan. Rosemary and Lee are reminded that family...
So many names.
It's the true meaning of Christmas. Family's the true meaning of Christmas. That's what it comes down to.
No, just like the Prancer.
So there's a lot going on in this one.
Yeah, a lot. But you know what gets me is the newly adopted son. I feel like that's such a morsel to put in there that if you did that, you should win all games ever. So I'm going to say that was a real movie.
Amber, that's a real Hallmark Channel original.
Wow.
When Calls the Heart Christmas. Oh, man. All right, we just got two more.
Okay.
You're doing good. But if you miss these both, you'll lose.
Okay.
And you will not get...
But there's still pressure.
There's still lots of pressure, and you won't get that extra Christmas present.
Have to return it.
A Ghost of Christmas Past.
Oh, I've heard of that.
The Ghost of Christmas Past. Holly Green, a chef at Snowflake, Donner Lake's premier eatery, is
Holly Green, Snowflake, Donner Lake. Okay. That's why Sharon Tidings or whatever her name is not weird at all.
Holly Green, a chef at Snowflake, Donner Lake's premier eatery, is looking for her next big entree for Donner Lake's annual Christmas Eve bash. But truth be told, her mom was the brains behind Snowflake's menu. But ever since Holly's mom died last year, the pressure is on to have the best entree yet. Holly hires Simon Reeves, a local mystic, to hold a seance.
Oh, my.
To see if her mom can give her Snowflake's next great meal. But the handsome Simon helps Holly find more than a ghostly recipe. He helps her tap into the spirit of Christmas.
Really? So it's called The Ghost of Christmas Past?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm intrigued. I want to watch it, so I'm going to hope that it is real.
I'm sorry, Amber, I made that one up.
Oh, how? It's too good.
I know,
Too
it's
good.
so good. I just had this.
You came up with all those Donner Lake.
And so I was just writing down, I was brainstorming, and I wrote Christmas seance in my my journal.
Mm-hmm.
And then it
just came to
me.
That's so perfect. The Ghost of Christmas Past. That feels like such a real movie. You should pitch it.
I should pitch it.
That's how we get rich.
This is it. Okay.
Holly Green.
The last one, Amber. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 correct, and 1, 2, 3 incorrect.
Okay.
So it's all the marbles. I mean, you can't, if you, 4 out of 8, you still lose, obviously.
Okay.
Angel Falls.
Oh, boy.
Fallen angel Gabby must redeem herself. To do so, she's dispatched to where else but the town of Angel Falls. It's not a job for any one being, even one endowed with her special powers. Luckily, Gabby has her own guardian angels, Anna and Michael. All of them work to help the citizens of Angel Falls, and along the way, wings and love blossom.
So she's an angel, but she has her own guardian angel.
Well, she's a fallen angel.
She's a fallen angel.
Yeah,
so there's 3 angels kind of working together. She's a well-endowed angel.
Well, I mean, I've not seen that.
That's
so
what
it
said.
Yes, one endowed with her special powers.
Yeah, exactly.
I see what you're saying.
I don't feel like you would have had her be a fallen angel and have her own guardian angels, because I feel like that's so dumb. So I'm going to say that one's real.
Amber, you are correct. Another Hallmark original.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Amber, you've done it.
Yay, I get the bonus present.
You've beaten my Christmas quiz.
I've beaten it. Oh, yay.
So I really enjoy making up Christmas movie synopses.
Yeah, you're so good at it.
Yeah. You think that I could sell the USS Prancer?
No, but you could sell that other one, The Ghost of Christmas Past. Maybe the USA. Does USA do original? I feel like because they had that Last Ship show that we watched.
Oh, yeah. Not the Hallmark, but maybe more of an action-adventure Christmas time situation.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Well, you guys, we want to thank you for joining us for our Christmas episode. We hope that you have a great Christmas. We are going to probably be ready for our next Harry Potter installment mid-December.
That's right.
Not the Prisoner, the Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah, what's your take so far, Amber?
Man, I am only about halfway through. I love it.
I love it.
It's great.
I love it too. And I'm excited about some of the things that are happening.
I know. We've got some real developments.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're ahead of me a little bit, but we should be ready in a couple weeks to record that. And then you can look forward at the end of the month to our review of the new Star Wars movie.
Ooh, I'm very excited about that.
Some good plans. But we want to know what other movies we should watch. We wanted this one to come out beginning of December so that we can get our recommendations out there and we can hear back from you guys. Put some stuff on our post about what we should watch. There's a lot of Hallmark movies to choose from.
Yeah.
So narrow it down for us.
Since we know that you guys are out there watching the Hallmark Christmas movies. I imagine that my mom, friend of the show, Barb, has them just on 24/7 at her house. So let us know what the good ones are, Mom.
Yeah, please do.
And anyone else out there listening. Or if you hate Christmas movies, Hallmark Christmas movies, let us know why. Mm-hmm. Why do you hate the cheesiness?
Yeah.
You know? So
what are ones we should avoid?
What are ones that we should avoid?
Waste our time on.
Exactly.
You can leave feedback about this episode or anything else that we've done on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at SegmentsCast, or you can send us an email, segmentscast@gmail.com, or you can go to our episode page, that's segments.libsyn.com.
Yeah, and we would love it if you not only look us up, but also subscribe on your podcast player of choice, and also share the show with others. If there's other people out there that you know that want to listen to me and my lovely wife talk about a random assortment of things and every once in a while laugh, tell them about this great show.
Please do.
Please do.
We want to thank our daughter Emma for our logo and graphics. If you want her to draw you something, she does take commissions when she has time. You can contact her through our email, segmentscast@gmail.com.
And we want to say thank you again to EDM Samurai for the intro and outro music. You can find him on SoundCloud at EDM Samurai. Oh, I should find the Christmas jingle that he did for us last year or so. All right. Well, what's something that they would say at the end of a Hallmark Christmas movie? I love you.
Yes, I'll marry you.